Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night, the podcast that deals with the early life of yours truly. Here, narrating Dreaming for a Rose is Jimmy. 11 a.m. Jim and Claude are on the riverboat, the city of New Orleans, for a 2-hour lunch cruise. (2 p.m. At the ranch, J.R. is playing with Monopoly with Uncle Thomas, who is teaching him some basic secrets of life and business. These secrets J.R. would take for his internship in Washington, D.C., and his lifelong study and look at public affairs. (4:20 p.m. J.R. and Claude are in the hotel at the Hyatt New Orleans, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. Jim is especially angry at a post that the leader of the Saturday night special talk show, Kurt Leonard, put on his own BBS, accusing Jim of being a part of nepotism for making a deal in the summer of 1989 with James Bush to sell some Patriot beer. This would be a sign of things to come, as in December 1994, Jim would invite Kurt Leonard to the Hendrick House in Gainesville to plead with him not to post any more bad crap about him. 5:05 a.m. In Baton Rouge, the family of the future Mrs. Christian Lightfoot arrived. Connie and Andrew Anglican. With Andrew in the wheelchair, the family had decided to ask Jim to give the bride away, with Andrew not far behind. And then, also showing up at for the wedding, was the family of Faye Simmons Harden, with these were Jonette Elaine and Eldon Harris Simmons. Also joining them was Faye's brother Christian and his wife Margot. 5:25 p.m. Karen pulls her car out in front of the ranch with J.R. sitting in the patio. He rushes over to her. "Am I ever glad to see you?" J.R. said. "Why don't we go ahead and grab a pizza before hungry for old time's sake?" "Sounds great," J.R. said. "Look, I have a present for you. It's the Michael W. Smith album, The First Decade. Promise me you will listen to it when you get home and on your internship in Washington, D.C. I don't want your father corrupting you. First, I will listen to it at home, and I will listen to it in Washington, D.C. But there is no way my father is going to corrupt me," J.R. said. (7 p.m. At the home group Bible study. As Brad promised, Dr. Michelle and her husband Kevin McMahon had made a 2-layer chocolate cake with some leftover pizza for JR. "I think we're all going to miss him when he goes," Dr. Michelle said. Hey, promise me we'll stay in touch, Brad said. I know we've had our problems, JR, but you're still my friend. Be sure to contact us when you are in Washington, D.C. It's not going to be the same with you gone. I'm afraid Washington, D.C. is going to be a wake-up call for JR, Karen said. On the other hand, JR could wake them up. You forget, last fall, he said he was going, when we started getting together, he was going to study public affairs. 10 p.m. Karen drops JR in front of the ranch house. Don't be a stranger, Karen said. Call us during this whole process while you're in Washington, D.C. and while you're gone. I promise you I will. And thanks for the album, and thanks for chiding me. Hey, you, I like. With you being gone, it's going to be hard. Hope you enjoyed the J.R. Hendrick Texan night. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the adventure. This is J.R. Hendricks saying until next time, take care and get ready for the rest of this story. It gets more interesting from here. So, look out. We're winding down for his my summer internship in Washington, D.C. June 6th to August 19th, 1994. So, y'all get ready.